Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. The first message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? Can you please post my own story as anonymous? I have reached out to you here on TikTok because I have watched one of these other video about a guy who is openly saying that he is a ritualist and he is into Satanism. I am also into that type of stuff, but now I am trying to return back to God, but we still need to eat, don't we? So I have been running my own little scam here on TikTok, but I started on Facebook. You see, I am now a pastor. Yes, when I went to South Africa, I was a junior pastor, and I said, since people, they love to hear about the wonders of God, when you pray for someone, then suddenly that person becomes rich. How about I open my own TikTok account, but I came from Facebook and telling people that if you pray, if you sow your seed, there will be a breakthrough in your life and you will receive your own blessing. Yes, I do have a lot of following, and most of the people that do follow me, they are from my country, Nigeria. In this state where I am staying, I usually target those that are elderly, those that believe that they are being bewitched by their own people. And let me tell you what made me to be who I am right now. I used to be a big man when I was still in South Africa. I was once part of a Johannesburg drug cartel. I am talking about the kind of a syndicate that does not make news because the journalists, they will not see their homes again if they tried to speak about those type of gangs. For 10 years, I lived in South Africa, eating money, eating life, and enjoying women there. Yet I was a married pastor, and we used to eat human flesh. Yes, you have read me right. We used to eat human flesh. So now I do my fake prophecies here on TikTok. I do not get a lot, but at least I am able to take care of my wife, and we are currently sending our daughter to college. I've been telling myself that I'm going to stop all of this that I am doing. When my daughter graduates, we hope that she can go to Europe, and when she goes to Europe, she can then try to send some money for us, and we can end up also going to Europe. Then there won't be any need for me to hustle the way that I am hustling. Me and my wife, we run our little show, and people do not even know that there are some people that do come to our church that we would have paid. We bring these people from other states, and they talk about the wonders of how God has blessed them ever since they sowed their seed to our church. This is how we have been surviving. Let me take you back. It was in 2008 when I left Nigeria. Like most Nigerians who go to South Africa, they usually go there as if they are going to do some Lord's work as a pastor volunteer. I had gotten an invite from another church, a South African church. I went there when I got my visa as a volunteer. We used to work in Durban, but in the villages of KZN. Whilst we were doing the work of the Lord as missionaries, I then hooked up with other Nigerians. You see, I was not being paid because I was a volunteer. So I needed to make some money. I quickly linked up with these other boys, mostly who were Nigerians. Some were from Zim and Congolese. And we started to talk, and they said that I was wasting a lot of time. He told me that my visa very soon was going to expire. This was one guy who was from DRC and South Africa. He said, this country is not for slow people. You either sell or you starve. You either run and control the streets, or you will starve. You will go back to Nigeria. Why do you want to go back to Nigeria? Stay in South Africa. 2 months later, I had overstayed my visa, and all of a sudden I was carrying a pistol, and this was my life now. A pastor who would move around with a gun. I was now an official drug mule. You see, in the business that I was now involved in, it is not about how many guns you have, but it is about, do you have a very strong spirit? Because everything is spiritual. And if people believe that you have a traditional healer who is like a witch, if they believe that when they shoot at you, the bullets cannot kill you, then you have already won the war before even shooting at anyone. One night, it was in the year 2009, and also what forced me to be part of this cartel was the way that the church used to treat me. There was one day when I went to this other South African pastor's house. They told me that I should just tend to the lawn, and they were going to give me something. After I had finished cutting the lawn, I was still a good man. They said, "May God bless you." They used me, and after that they said, "God, may He bless you." And I said, "This is not going to work. I have a wife, I have kids back in Nigeria. I need to make a plan." One night in 2009, I was taken to a certain house. It was at 3 a.m. When we went there, I saw that there was a red table that was covered with a red cloth with candles, and I saw that there were bottles of alcohol, and there was something that was wrapped in a black plastic bag. And I was told to open the plastic, and I saw meat, and I thought that it was the meat of a cow, and I was told that we were supposed to eat this. It turned out that this was the thigh meat from a woman that had passed away, and they had dug up her grave, and they were making me to eat that meat. I wanted to vomit, but when you are new in the crew, you do not have anything to say. You have no mouth. That is what they say. They cooked it with paper and onions, just like suya, and I was told to eat this, and it was going to make me to be powerful. The taste was not that bad because it had been cooked with all the spices. That night I could not fall asleep. I cried thinking about the things that I had done. In time, we started to move drugs. We would move the drugs around Joburg. There were times when we would drive with these drugs all the way to Cape Town, and also collecting other drugs in Cape Town. So I was then introduced to what they call bone powder chums. We always had enemies, other drug dealers that were fighting against us, the police, even our own crew members who thought that they could control, because there is a hierarchy. You cannot just sell wherever you want to sell without permission. Being arrested, I used to be scared of being arrested, but it was part of the business. And there was this other Nigerian man whom we used to call our Juju Baba, and this man, he was the one who would give us the crushed human bones. We were told that these were the bones from the people who died violently, so their spirits, they carried, in brackets, heat. When you are arrested, we always moved around with a pinch of the powder in our pockets. The moment you enter into the courtroom, the spirit from the bones will make the judge to feel sorry for you, such that there was even one woman judge who got so emotional when I told a fake story of me just being a missionary from Nigeria who was trying to do the Lord's work in South Africa. So because of that spirit from the bones, they made this judge to be so emotional, and she did not reason properly, and she was pulled like a magnet by the powder of the bones that I had in my pocket. And then she said that I was supposed to be released because there was no evidence that I was a drug dealer. Yet the evidence was right there, and people in court, they did not believe it. They did not believe it when they saw the judge being emotional and crying. To someone who does not understand, it can be very difficult. But what was happening during that time, it was nothing but spiritualism that was happening. I did not even believe it, even my own self. There was even one time, this was in the year 2010, we were pushing a lot of projects because of the tourists that were there in South Africa and the World Cup that was going on. I was caught in a town that is called Randburg. I had 2 kilos of pure product that we had recently gotten from Cape Town. It was in my boot of the car that I was driving. The cops were already smiling, knowing that this one would give them a promotion. In court, my lawyer whispered, we are not going to win this, but I knew, because when I was arrested, I had that small powder in my pocket. It is not something that we used to carry, which will be a lot, just a little bit of that powder. So on the day of the court, I was given my clothes and I went to court with my clothes. And the moment that the judge looked at me, the man cleared his throat, smiled, and asked 2 or 3 meaningless questions. Then the judge said, "This court finds insufficient evidence." My lawyer was even surprised. He started laughing. I smiled because I knew the dead bones had done their work. After that, no matter what used to happen, we would go to a police station. Every foreigner that I knew in South Africa is scared of going close to a Home Affairs office, but we would go there. I even dated one woman. I used to bring lunch to him. Even border control, we were not scared of anything because we had powder in our pockets. I remember one time when we were supposed to go and give this other man who was a prince, his name I won't mention, in one nearby country that is close to South Africa. He's a drug addict. We used to go and deliver the drugs to him. We would cross the border as if you are just moving from your house to your neighbor's house without even being asked any questions at all. By 2012, I was so scared because of some of the things that used to happen. There was this other boy, I'm sure that he's still in prison, who was named Gift. That man, he had the spirit of the devil living inside of him. He was not even scared of killing anyone. He once came with the tongue of this other man from another gang that they had killed, and he cut off the tongue of that person, and he came with the tongue as proof that, as he had said that he was going to do when he was going to kill that man, he had done it. And we used to drive around sometimes with people that were owing us money that were unable to pay, forcing them to sell even their vehicles or some of their household assets so that they can pay us. And I finally came to the point when I was arrested. We tried to use all the charms that we had, but when I was arrested, there was this other police guy that I knew who was always assigned in Hillbrow. He said that he was going to arrange what they call a friendly arrest. So a friendly arrest, what they do is that they let us catch us with small amounts so that on the news people can see drug dealers in court. And then when we are in court, we can be sentenced even for a month or something. In the meantime, we would be pushing more drugs. So this was a friendly arrest, but I served a lot of jail time. After I came out of prison, the streets had changed. I tried to form a church in South Africa, but things were not working for me. I did not want to be a drug dealer anymore. I said, let me live a clean life. I came back to Nigeria. Me and my wife, we started pushing our small electronics business, and by 2018 we were running our electronics business, but it was not working. During lockdown, I downloaded TikTok because of my daughter. She used my phone, and my first video, it was something that got me a lot of views. I was so excited, even though I was not getting paid any money. I got 50,000 views. about telling people that if you just touch the screen of your phone, then your miracle is going to come to you. People started asking for private prayers. I told them that in order for all of those miracles to come to you, you have to sow a seed. And some of these people, they were mainly from Ghana, Nigeria, and here and there from other parts of Africa and other parts of the world. We would queue going to the Western Union. Money started flowing each and every day. Now I was even able to buy a brand new suit, and I would perform fake healings in my church. And some of these healings I do pay people, and they know that we are going to be doing these miracles in church. It won't be even like a live church gathering, but rather they are actors that I hire so that they can be in my church, and we only show part of the church where a lot of people will be seated. I can hire about 20 people, and we can manipulate the video to make those 20 people like they are 100 or so. One of my relative is very good with the video editing. Even if we mess up, we have learned from other fake pastors who have been caught lying on camera. So we make sure that we do not do the same mistakes like they did. We edit each and everything and rewatch before posting. And a lot of people, they do come to me. So to those that are going to judge me, as for now, this is my own way of returning back to Christ. But along the way, I have to eat. I have a family that I still need to take good care of. To those that are going to say, how about you just stop what you are doing? It is worse than being a drug dealer. It is not worse. It is a little bit better. It is far much better than to eat human flesh. I feel that this is so much better than to move around with bone powder of people that would have been killed, and you get their bone powder. And I feel that I am able to take care of my family in a clean way. To those that do come to me for miracle prayers, wherever in the Bible, where is it written that you are supposed to pay your pastor to get these miracles? So those people are the ones that you are supposed to blame, because they know nothing about their own Bible. Rather, they want me to give them miracles. They want me to help them to get a job there and then. I tried to be a real preacher. Even when I was in South Africa, I saw that people, they do not love to be told the truth. They want to be told that in one day, God can bless you and you can become a millionaire. Only bring seed to the church. This is how we used to get these human bones. You see, there were those people that were drug addicts that were working for us, because when we were pushing drugs, selling them on the street, we will not be selling them. It will be some guys, some local unemployed guys that were pushing the drugs for us, and we would pay them. Some were drug addicts. We will pay them with the drugs. There were those that we used to send to the graveyard so that they can dig up the graves of the deceased and they can take the bones. And these bones, they were mixed with some charms, but they had to be burnt up. And after they had been burnt up, removing other spirits, then they would be grinded to powder. And we used to even mix this powder with some of the drugs, making sure that those that were our customers will keep on coming back, because where there is drug addiction, then that is where the demons rejoice. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our brother right there. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Let us try to speak with him in the comment section. He's saying that where there is drug addiction, there is a lot of demonic activity, and the demons, they rejoice. Where there are a lot of drugs that are being sold, where a lot of drugs are being taken.